The Ferrari Testarossa was excess on wheels. Be it looks, attitude, or even size. When this car came out, people were absolutely aghast at how wide this car was. I don't mean wide like Del Boy, I mean wide as in width. It was enormous, especially at the back. And it simply oozed charisma from every one of its slatted panels. It was unquestionably the only car that could star in Miami Vice. In fact, Enzo Ferrari loved that show so much, he actually gave its star, Don Johnson, his own Testarossa. And Don was just the tip of the celebrity iceberg. When you unleashed its 5-litre V12, it would do 180 miles an hour. It was an astonishing figure for the time. The price of this car, when it went on sale in 1985, was £62,666. That is, as I'm sure you know, the number of the beast. It had the speed and the celebrity fan base. But the Testarossa was not what you'd call politically correct. Consider, for example, that the window switches are tiny little things hidden down here on the centre console, where you'd expect them to be. That, well, obviously, it's a huge ashtray. And in fact, if they'd given that a mirrored lid, it could have had two uses. If the 1980s were the era of excess, then, well, this was the perfect car for the era.
I'm afraid Mr. May has just been wasting your time, rather, because that is not the ultimate 80s supercar. This is. For sheer over-the-topness, nothing comes close to the Lamborghini Countach. Alongside it, the Testarossa looks like a family hatchback. If you think the Ferrari is wide, this is even wider. And the Testarossa's doors don't open like this. This version of the Countach, the LP5000, was launched in 1985 specifically to put the Testarossa back in its box. Its 48-valve, 5.2-litre V12 could take the Countach to 186 miles an hour, or to be precise, more than the Ferrari. In fact, in its day, this was the fastest production car in the world. I've got a Kevlar bonnet. I've got rear tyres the size of road rollers. We're talking ultimate supercar here. And this incredible machine came from a company that didn't have half the resources of Ferrari. Let me give you an example. This car might look super aerodynamic, like a missile, but in fact, it never saw the inside of a wind tunnel. They couldn't afford to put it in one. So instead, they ran a prototype up and down the motorway with bits of wool stuck all over it. I love that. Oh, hello. Here he comes.
The trouble with that Lamborghini is it's a bit all mouth and no trousers. Fastest car in the world, my art. Eventually, we pulled over so we could continue arguing face to chest.
Oh, the brakes on. Brilliant.
On the line,
Right.
you can't see behind you, can
No,
you?
I just want to be really accurate, and you can help with that.
That's in the way, and that's in the way. That's why the early ones had a periscope.
All right, look, I've got a bed right. There's a cool thing I can do here, look. Where if you sit here like this, and then you can put it in reverse. There.
You're going to run over your own foot?
No, on no RPM.
Yes, it
How
is
cool
moving.
is
Yes,
it?
yes.
I look pretty cool.
You're all right.
It's like being out of the side of a helicopter in Vietnam. It's that cool.
Do you know, I was just explaining to the viewers before we stopped what a sham this car is. That rear wing has no effect other than to slow the car down and make the front go light when you're at high speed.
It's actually worse than that, because it's illegal. They didn't have the money to homologate it properly. So they'd build the cars in the factory, then wheel them out into the car park, and a man screwed them on with a power drill. Genuinely. And I love that about
In the car park?
In the car park. Finished it off. I love that.
Why don't we tell the viewers how the indicator stalk on your supercar comes from a Morris Marina?
Well, why don't we talk about the fact that the electric door mirror adjusters on yours are out of an Austin Montego?
I was hoping you didn't know
I
that.
did.
Ahem. Rod Stewart had a Testarossa.
Rod Stewart had a Countach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unable to agree on anything, we decided to take a more intellectual approach by having a drag race. Now, on paper, the Lamborghini is faster, definitely, but as we've already observed, Lamborghini were a bit fast and loose with their performance figures back in the day. So now, finally, we can find out for real. However, as we sat on the start line, something occurred to us. These are privately owned cars, aren't they?
Correct, yeah.
Well, the thing is, Testarossas don't really like standing starts because they tend to blow their own differentials up.
How much is a new differential?
It's £26,000.
Actually, I'm quite glad you've mentioned that, because these don't like standing starts either. It's those huge rear tyres. You get a fried clutch and a split gearbox casing.
How much does that cost?
£36,000. So in all, that's £62,000 at risk.
I know, I fancy something we don't normally do, a rolling start drag race.
Yes, I do too. I've always wanted to try a rolling start drag race, and for some reason, today in these cars, I prefer that option. So, when the light went green, we gently pull away together, and then, at the white line, floor it. Rolling start, cross the line, and bin it!
And they're off. He's getting away.
Oh, an angry Countach. 140.
Well, there you go. The bull has kicked the horse's arse. Even through that ridiculously small window, you look smug.
Oh, I am, mate, because I won. And it matters.
It does matter. That's the annoying thing. It really matters.
And now it's time to destroy them a little bit more by seeing how slowly those cars go round the Ebola-drome. And it's off in a clutch-slipping, smoky start. And it's a snappier start for the Countach. Oh, it's wet. And look at that lunging and pitching there. As she heads on to the isn't. How the Lambo got on. Having a look at the gear lever, make sure it hasn't fallen off. Sleeves very sensibly rolled down, mashing its fat rear tyres into that sodden tarmac. Really is sodden. Quick look down to make sure it's in gear there. And now easing off, rolled down. Look at the body roll on it. Okay, here we are. Oh, she's fighting the wheel down. More lead as she lunges down to your name here. Second curve on the straight. And back on the power towards your name here. No need for Abby to go to the gym this week. She's getting all the workout she needs. It really is dodge, duck, dip, dive. It's like watching dodgeball. Only slower and less amusing. Another glance down at the gear lever. And now ringing out that flat 12. Turning in hard as she dare. Rear wing doing absolutely nothing as usual. Back up. Oh, I thought it was going to take off there. Powerboating back towards old lady's house in a wake of spray. And now the joyless wrestle back towards old lady's house. Imagine she's enjoying this. Right, hard on the brakes. Taking a wisely cautious line in there as it stopped. No, still moving, just. And now, yeah, lumbering towards substation. Rush of the brakes, I've felt at the midpoint there. Now, much harder braking and down through the gears. Sounding like an angry tractor at low revs. And now in the dampened substation. In fairness, it does sound quite good. Dash towards substation. That makes an even better noise than the Ferrari, really. Very good, actually. Yeah, wallowing through there like a Rolls-Royce corniche. Just field of sheep to go. Just 2 corners left. Will she get this one sliding in field of sheep? And yes, she's sliding it! But through the field of sheep, no. And across the line. And there we are, across the line.
Brave.
Right. Let's see where they go on the board. Lamborghini first.
Hang on, that's the bottom of the board.
Well, they're not going to the top, are they? Oh, there, look, you see, look at that, 30th place.
It's faster than a Ford Fiesta. I mean, come on. It's pretty good.
That is tragically slow.
Well, it was a long time ago. It doesn't look good.
Honda Civic, Ford Focus, they're all quicker. All right, well, the one good thing is the Testarossa can't be much slower than that. Let's find out.
It is faster than the up, and they're both in the wet, so that's a fair comparison.
Loser, I believe.